We're looking at a machine today that experts are saying is literally shifting the entire landscape of automotive performance. I'm talking about the 2026 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1X. We're going to break down the hard data and the hands-on reviews from top automotive critics to understand exactly how American engineering managed to build a vehicle that, frankly, completely flips the supercar establishment on its head. 1,250. That is the staggering, mind-bending horsepower figure produced by the brand-new Corvette ZR1. I mean, just let that number sink in for a second. To put that kind of power into perspective, the folks over at Top Gear pointed out that this factory-produced Chevrolet is more powerful than literally any production Ferrari ever built. It is a massive, game-changing leap forward for what everyday consumers can just go and purchase straight off a dealership lot. And then there's the 0 to 60 time. 1.68 seconds on a prep surface. You heard that right, under 2 seconds to reach highway speeds. When reviewers actually took this out and tested it on the drag strip, they didn't just call it fast. They described the acceleration as a literal free-fall feeling. It's a brutal, neck-snapping level of speed that genuinely tests the absolute limits of what a modern street-legal tire can even handle. Section 1. America's Hypercar Killer, redefining what's possible for sports cars. When you stack the ZR1X up against the competition, well, it becomes this classic David versus Goliath story. Take the newly announced Ferrari F80. It packs 1,184 horsepower and will set you back around $4 million. Then you have the McLaren W1, offering a comparable 1,258 horsepower for upwards of $3 million. Meanwhile, the ZR1X steps into the ring, punches in that exact same ultra-heavyweight class of power, but for an estimated base price of around $217,000. It is essentially democratizing hypercar performance in a way the industry just hasn't seen before. Section 2. The 1,250 horsepower secret. The anatomy of a monster powertrain. So how on earth did they actually achieve this? Well, the secret sauce here is synergy. Chevy engineers took the massive 5.5-liter twin-turbo V8 from the standard ZR1, which, by the way, features the largest production twin-turbos on any road car, and that beast pushes out 1,064 horsepower on its own right to the rear wheels. But they didn't stop there. They took the electric drive unit from their earlier hybrid model, the Corvette E-Ray, beefed it up, and dropped it on the front axle for an additional 186 horsepower. The result? A highly advanced all-wheel drive hybrid system that somehow only adds about 250 pounds to the total weight of the car. And the breakdown of this hybrid system reveals something super fascinating. It is utilized purely for brutal performance. No, it's not for fuel economy. As Jay Leno pointed out in his review, this electric motor isn't there to save you gas money. It's there to give the front tires these tiger-like claws to just pull you through corners and launch you off the line with absolutely zero hesitation. Now, reviewers from Top Gear and Vehicle Virgins absolutely raved about this push-to-pass feature. It works alongside an endurance mode to expertly manage battery life for sustained track lapping. Basically, if you're bombing down a straightaway and you need absolutely everything the car has, you just click up on the cruise control stalk and bam, the ZR1X dumps maximum electric power to the front wheels. It's very much like a Formula One car, bringing a completely intoxicating level of on-demand control right to your fingertips. Section 3. Breaking records and physics, obliterating the quarter mile. With all this raw power hitting the pavement, the real-world speed is, frankly, terrifying to comprehend. You hit launch control, and in just 8.6 seconds, the car crosses the quarter-mile line at 159 miles per hour. But Top Gear highlighted this brilliant piece of engineering that happens right after that moment. At exactly 160 miles per hour, the front electric motor actually disconnects itself. By doing this right after the quarter-mile mark, the car instantly drops all that excess drag, which allows the V8 to push the low-drag setup version to an astonishing maximum top speed of 233 miles per hour. To really put that engineering into perspective, this Chevy destroys the quarter-mile time of a Bugatti Veyron by nearly a full second. Doug DeMoro highlighted this exact comparison, and it really hits the nail on the head. For years, the Bugatti Veyron was the undisputed king of speed. It was the ultimate multi-million-dollar engineering flex of the 2000s, and now, a production Chevrolet beats it across the line by an entire second, going almost 10 miles an hour faster. It's wild to see how far baseline automotive engineering has actually evolved. Now, of course, going fast is only half the equation, right? To actually stop and corner this absolute beast, Chevy threw on the largest carbon ceramic brakes ever fitted to a Corvette, paired with race-ready downforce and run-flat tires. We're talking 420mm front rotors clamped by massive 10-piston calipers. If you opt for the ZTK Aero package, you get this massive carbon fiber wing and dive planes that generate immense downforce. And if you really want to optimize the whole shebang, you can spec it with $14,000 carbon fiber wheels. That sheds even more unsprung weight, which essentially means lightening the heavy spinning parts at the corners of the car so it can handle, accelerate, and respond so much faster. Section 4. The usable everyday beast. Groceries, golf clubs, and extreme track performance. But here is what makes the ZR1X so uniquely American. Despite this absolute track dominance, Chevrolet somehow managed to engineer a car you can legitimately live with on a daily basis. Seriously, think about it. It's a 1,250 horsepower track monster that still has a soft-closed trunk big enough for your golf clubs or your luggage. It features a GPS-enabled front lift that actually remembers where the steep driveways and potholes are in your town, lifting the front end automatically as you approach them. And with stealth mode, you can pull out of your driveway early in the morning using just the electric motor, rolling out silently without waking up your entire neighborhood. Jay Leno perfectly summarized this duality. He emphasized that it feels incredibly well-made and comfortable, even just cruising on public roads. He noted that even in sport mode, the ride isn't harsh at all. It totally lacks that punishing, bone-rattling stiffness you might expect from a dedicated track weapon. Against all odds, it is a truly everyday supercar. And Doug DeMoreau pointed out these brilliant, quirky little details that inject the ZR1X with a unique, proud American personality. This isn't some sterile machine. If you open the rear hatch, you'll actually find a plaque signed by the specific human being who hand-built the engine, someone like a guy named Jeff Smith, for instance. There are these little hidden rocket ship Easter eggs scattered around the cabin to remind you of the performance. There's a tribute graphic to legendary Corvette engineer Taj Juter right on the windshield, and they even brought back that iconic 1960s split-window rear design element. It is just a car with a whole lot of soul. Section 5. The ultimate performance bargain, democratizing extreme speed. Let's transition to the grand finale here and look at the financial reality that makes this vehicle so disruptive. $217,000. That is the estimated starting price for the base ZR1X coupe. Now, yeah, $217,000 is an incredible amount of money, absolutely no question about it, but context in the hypercar world is everything. When you look at what you're actually getting for that price tag, just look at the market right now. The new Ford Mustang GTD is asking north of $300,000. And that Ferrari F80? $4 million. Jay Leno literally joked that he paid less for his ZR1X than what the California sales tax alone would be on one of those European exotics. The value proposition here is just wildly skewed in the Corvette's favor. And the big reviewers are definitely reflecting this too. Doug DeMoreau gave it a staggering 68 out of 100 on his Doug score, tying it with highly regarded, absolute elite modern supercars like the Porsche 911 GT3 RS and the McLaren 765 LT. Top Gear went as far as calling it possibly the biggest performance bargain ever created. It stands shoulder to shoulder with the very best of the automotive world, but brings just an unprecedented level of horsepower to the dynamic. So I want to leave you with this final thought. With American engineering completely shattering the hypercar market and pushing out 1,250 horsepower for roughly $250,000, where do the horsepower wars possibly go from here? If Chevy is offering mid-8-second quarter miles and literal Formula One tech at this price point today, what does the future of automotive performance even look like? The standard has officially shifted. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and we'll catch you next time.